just departed Cartagena's Club de Pesca Marina, and we're headed south to the Rosario Islands tonight, where we'll spend one night before we depart for Panama. So this is a really exciting trip. It's just the two of us. And now that we're out of the marina, after a month, your dock lines and fenders get really nasty. And as usual, Lenny would prefer I drive while she scrubs the fenders. How's that going?
Good.
We haven't seen dolphins in a while.
I know.
It's supposed to be good luck when you're starting a passage. And since this is our passage to Panama and the San Blas,
We'll take it.
yeah, this is a welcome sight.
They're little. Oh my gosh. Hi. Look, 4 of them right there.
¿Cómo se llama?
Jose.
Jose. I'm Randy. You guys catch them?
Sí.
See? Okay.
80 cada una. 80 each one. He says it's normally 100, but he's giving us a deal.
Wait. 80 what?
80,000. 80,000. That sounds crazy. How much is that?
That's $20 a piece. Something's wrong with the math. That's more expensive than a restaurant. Ask him if he'll do 120. Is that okay? Ask him it's only if he's happy. Say only if he's happy.
Si estás contento, dice.
Sí.
You're happy? Okay, good.
Si no fuera buen negocio, no.
¿Verdad? No hay deporte.
Claro.
He said if it's not a good bargaining, there's no fun in it.
I like buying local. It's like farm to table.
They're adorable little kids too, though.
Yeah, and that's a nice boat they've
That is
got.
like farm to table.
Now, we get a lot of comments from you guys when we do something wrong or don't have something down, like we didn't know to bleed the tuna before we ate it. Tasted okay anyway. Anyway, so he says boil the lobster in salt water for 2 minutes and then cook it on the grill. And we're not going to argue with that. We're just going to go ahead and do it. And then I appreciate the comments down below. So it worked. The lobster is perfect.
Amazing.
So we've been dealing with a water maker problem. The one time you want your water maker to work is when you leave Colombia, headed to San Blas, and you're going to have no water for a week. And it broke. So we've been on the phone with tech support, trying to get some ideas on how to make it operational for the week. The anchorage was great. It was flat calm. And what was cool about it was we had the anchor alarm on. And you draw a circle around your boat and you hit enable alarm, and now the boat has a geofence set up around it. So you bring this down and put it by your bed, and as the boat swings during the night, if it goes outside of this boundary, which would mean that your anchor is dragging, then the alarm goes off, so you can get up and deal with it rather than bump into another boat or worse, hit land. This morning at 6 a.m., all of a sudden the alarm went off. So we jump out of bed, turn the alarm off, we run up here, and I just hadn't drawn the circle big enough to show the arc of what the boat could turn at. But what I liked about it is it proved that our anchor alarm works. So this is funny. Lenny is not into fishing, and she's not into bloody fish on the boat and all that. But now that she's had the taste of fresh mahi and tuna, we start heading offshore this morning, and she says, hey, you need to put the line in the water. So suddenly she likes fishing. I won't even be surprised if we start fishing on our center console back home. You think that's possible?
Maybe.
Maybe 16.
Working for a living, working for a living, working for a living, living and a working. I'm taking what they're giving 'cause I'm working for a living.
Unfortunately, you know, we waited for the proper weather because there was gales on Monday and Tuesday, and our weather router said absolutely don't go. And then this morning was the green light, and now we're out here motoring.
It's almost too good of weather.
But there's virtually no wind. We raised the main earlier just as a steadying sail, and it was slapping around and putting a lot of stress on the rig, and the rig was shuddering, so we dropped the main. So right now we're just motoring. I think I got dinner.
Ow!
No, too close. Oh! I can't believe we just had a beautiful bluefin. So we are about halfway between Cartagena and Panama. And the part of Panama we're going to is San Blas right here. And then in a couple of days, we're gonna come up to the Panama Canal here. A little bit of wind now. It's about 11 knots on the beam. We're making some of it just by motoring, but I'm going to put out the jib now and see if we can pick up our pace. We both slept pretty good last night, and it's morning. We're about 5 miles from San Blas. The wind never picked up, but we're still able to cut one engine off and just motor sail with one engine and maintain about 7 knots. We're pulling into this anchorage in Hollandes Key, and all these little islands are just above sea level and covered with palm trees. It looks like the South Pacific. We've never seen anything like this. And in fact, one of these islands is the picture that was on Microsoft. It was their cover screen on, what was it called? It was on Windows, like Windows 2000. That blue water with that little island and the palm trees on it was here, taken here in San Blas. I'm gonna see if I can kind of figure out which island it was. I'd love to get a picture of that. The anchorage is ridiculous, and the islands are ridiculous. It's a little overcast right now, but look at these just low islands with white sand beaches and just loaded with palm trees. I've been to the South Pacific when I was a kid. I sailed in Tonga and the Vavau group, and this is kind of what it looked like. I didn't know anything like this existed in the Caribbean. So we're going around and checking out these islands, and there's grass huts everywhere that the Guna Indians live in. No water, no electricity. They ride little dugout canoes paddling. And what's that? Wow.
Sí.
Entonces puedo comprarle con ustedes y llevárselo allá.
Sí, como no mejor. Aquí ve.
Aquí ahora se lo llevo.
Spread your love and fly. 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 All around the world, statues crumble for me. Who knows how long I've loved you? What will you say? Everywhere I go, people stop and they say, 25 years old, my mother, God rest her soul. Lord of mercy. I just wanna fly. Where you want? Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. I just wanna fly. Where you want? Where you try? Where you want? Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Tell her, here.
So we have our private island romantic dinner plan. We met a Guna Indian who lives with his family on a small island. Although they have no electricity or running water, he offered to take our lobster and cook us a traditional Guna meal. They all seemed excited to have us as guests, and the kids all helped us launch the dinghy to head back to the boat.
Okay, now we're heading to Porvenir to go to customs, and the wind is picked up today. It's blowing about 18 to 20 knots. So we left the anchorage under sail, and we're going 7 knots, and we don't even have the jib out yet. So we should have a really good sail down there.
Ready?
I'm ready. And look how beautiful the scenery is. The San Blas is incredible. There you go. We're sailing along at 9 knots in 17 knots of wind. I can't get over this. I have to say it's the most beautiful place in the Caribbean. The sail in San Blas was one of the best we've ever had. We were cruising along at 9 or 10 knots and 20 knots of breeze. Happy Together was loving it today, and we could tell. We sailed for 3 hours to reach the island of Porvenir. That's where immigration is located in the San Blas Islands. We needed to get our passport stamped before we headed to the canal zone. Much easier to do it away from the canal zone, we were told. Yes, we were cruising again, and these would be our last islands for a long time. So I want to thank one of our YouTube followers, Joshua Jayasingh. He sent me an email and said that he and his family and his daughters have been watching our videos and they really liked it and he wanted to get us a gift. I said it wasn't necessary and he insisted, and I was completely shocked when this showed up at our house. This is a Dixie Divers pony tank, and the purpose of this is to have a small convenient scuba package that you wear on your back, and you can dive down and clean the bottom of your boat or check for damage or clean your props or whatever. We really appreciate this, Joshua, and thank you. And now we're going to try it out. Fantastic. It's like a simple set of scuba gear. I'm going to go check out the props. Hi everybody. I know I was just talking about Joshua on this new video I'm making, and but the crazy thing is, he's got daughters in high school and he's got another sailboat, and he said he wasn't going to buy a catamaran for maybe another 4 or 5 years, and then he calls me a couple weeks ago and says, hey, I'm buying a catamaran now. And not only a catamaran, a Leopard 48. So I was completely shocked. So what the hell happened to you? How did you do this?
Well, this was so sudden, and we've been looking at the Leopard 48 for a long time, but then we started seeing your videos, and as we keep seeing your videos, we said, that's the boat we want to buy.
You want to join in the fun?
Yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
So thank you for all your videos and all your instructions that you actually provide for every one of us. So.
I appreciate you reaching out to me and sending me that nice gift that we're using. So now I'll have to think of something you need so I can reciprocate.
Oh, no.
So, but anyways, a pleasure meeting you.
Same here, Andy. Oh, it's such a great pleasure.
I look forward to meeting your wife and your family.
Same here. I'm looking forward to it.
Sunset cruise around
Chichen Itza, something like that. Chichen Itza. Go with that.
do this.
We love San Blas. We want to go back.
Yeah, I love San Blas.
We didn't get enough nights, but we'll go back.
Yeah, we're gonna do a week here.
The prevailing current far offshore is the Caribbean countercurrent, slowly flowing eastward. Closer to shore, the currents are stronger and unsteady.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. We're planning on picking up anchor at first light, and we kind of need to make this run today because we have flights tomorrow and I gotta be at work on Monday. So anyway, so we're gonna go out and give it a try. If it's too rough and uncomfortable, then we'll turn around and come back, and we'll wait for better weather, which looks like it's coming on Monday. So it's always more important, obviously, to be safe than get back to work. But I really need to get back to work Monday. So we'll see. Should be an exciting day. So we left our anchorage and we put a double reef in the main and let out about half the jib, and we are cruising. See, like, look at this. That's easy, a 10-foot wave. So far, we got what we bargained for. We've had about 20 knots of wind and 10-foot seas consistent. But we just had 2 waves hit us that were the biggest I've ever seen in my life, and I grew up sailing on the California coast.
Really big.
And they were, when we were in the trough, it came up like it was going to break on us, and it had to be 20 feet tall. All I could do, I kind of panicked for a second, and I thought I was going to put the boat in gear even though we don't have the engines on. So I took it off autopilot and turned the boat with the wave, because it came like a mountain right here and it was going to clobber us. So just at the last second, I was able to kind of turn around, and it kind of rode with us and then went under us. So now we've just been sitting here like on pins and
Waiting
needles.
for the next one.
Yeah, like we don't know if it's getting worse, getting better. That was about 20 minutes ago. So we've just been sailing here in silence since then.
Waiting for the big wave.
We can't anchor, so we're just going to lower the dinghy, and I'm going to run into the port captain and try to get our stamp. Lenny's going to stay out here. Although we already had our passport stamp, we still had to import the boat. It's a process the Panamanian government requires for you to go through the canal. Problem was, we had to stop in Port Linton, and the port captain closes at noon. I arrived 1 minute till. Lenny stayed on the boat and held it in position until I got back. She did a great job. We're legal in Panama. We are legal in Panama and to go through the Panama Canal.
It was a hammerhead shark. We had like the ribs.
Freaky. We're sailing along here. We're 15 miles from the entrance of the Panama Canal, and Lenny sees something in the water, and it's a big hammerhead shark, and he just swam right past us.
Lots and lots of ships, cargo ships waiting their turn to come through the canal.
600 feet to the breakwater, and I've been waiting to play this song for 18 months. Arriving at Shelter Bay, Panama was the end of our Caribbean journey. 15 countries, 18 months, and 3,000 miles traveled. Time for a maneuver schluck. Maneuver schluck! We are just getting situated here in Shelter Bay. The marina is full of nice cruising boats and everybody who's either waiting to go through the canal or has just come through the canal. So as soon as we landed, people like walk up to you and what's your story and where you're going, and so we've already met some cool people.
So Randy's trying to remove the pump from the water maker, and as usual, it always takes a little bit of acrobatics. So here he is.
Doing the repairs is never hard. It's the access that's hard.
It's the access. So he's like pretty much doing a headstand and dealing with the screws upside down at the same time.
Okay. We are in Shelter Bay Marina, which is the marina on the Caribbean side of the Panama Canal. But in order to go through the canal, you need
To get measured by a measuring guy from the port captain authority place. And until they do that, they can't even give you the date for the crossing.
right. But once we go through the Panama Canal, we actually have a delivery captain, Richard, and he is going to deliver the boat to San Francisco, California, which is my hometown and where I started sailing and grew up sailing. And then we're gonna start traveling once a month to San Francisco, and then immediately start working our way back down the coast. We're gonna do the Baja Rally next this coming November, which is the plan, and then go down to Cabo, Sea Cortez, and then we'll work our way back to Panama in early 2018. So,
Best laid plan.
hold on.
Best laid plan
Hold
going.
on, I can't say so.
You can't say that.
I can't say so. I got an email from some guy saying, could you say so a couple hundred more times?
I know.
But how do you start a sentence other
I
than
know.
so?
Everybody does it. Here we go.
No, you can't say here we
Everybody
are.
says that too.
No, it's I can't not say so.
Just
We
don't-
are in.
Yeah, just don't say it.
Hey, Randy and Lenny, this is Dana and Ray here from Fort Worth, Texas. We wanted to tell you thank you for the bottle of wine that you sent. Of course, we're sitting here enjoying it. Cheyenne has tried to get into it a few times. And thank you for the shirts. I really like those, and the logo on the back. It's been great. Of course, we've got 5 years left until we're going to be out there on the water ourselves, and we're really looking forward to it. And you really inspire us by your videos. So thank you for all the YouTube videos that you put out, and thank you again for the wine and shirts. Thanks. Be safe.
Watch out for the pirates.